All right, you guys, welcome back to another Madden 23 Lions franchise video. And this week we are playing against the Chicago Bears in the second to last game of the season, and we are playing against none other than Marco Keaton again, the rookie quarterback that was drafted one spot after Jake Zimmer. And right now, looking at the Offensive Rookie of the Year rankings, and Marco Keaton is still at number 1. And Jake Zimmer is at number 2. I imagine that team success does not matter all that much. And it looks like Quentin Posey has jumped up to the number 3 spot despite missing 5 games with an abdominal tear. So we've got 2 rookies here, and one of them needs to pass Marco Keaton. We cannot let Marco Keaton get Offensive Rookie of the Year. We've got to beat the Bears. Our last game, we beat them 32-29. So we won by 1 field goal. Let's go ahead and get into the game. And our first snow game of the season, or of this franchise, I think even. I love it, though, playing against the Bears in snowy conditions to determine who is winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. And again, this is for our positional seeding in the playoffs as well. We do need to win this game. Otherwise, the Cowboys could take the number 1 spot away from us. The Cowboys are just slightly worse in record. I think we're 11-4 and they're 10-5. And the Bears are probably not making the playoffs unless they win this game and the next game, and they have a couple other games kind of fall their way. I think it's unlikely that they make the playoffs, but it might still be a possibility. But regardless, we're playing for Offensive Rookie of the Year and for playoff positioning, and they're playing for pride and trying to win Offensive Rookie of the Year for Marco Keaton. All right, in Chicago. Stephen Murphy on the return to begin, and we got some good blocks, and we can't do too much with it. Getting it up to the 30 at least. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more. Jake Zimmer coming onto the field now. And this is a budding rivalry between Jake Zimmer and Marco Keaton. Again, taking back-to-back picks in the draft by 2 divisional opponents. Cordarrelle on the first run. And again, Cordarrelle should not really be in most of the time. He is in here. Cooper Kupp is finally back for us, which is huge. We got Jameson streaking across the middle. It's going to be 3rd and 4. On 3rd and 4, we got Cordarrelle in the backfield again here, but I do like Jameson to get open on this short out, and he holds on to it for the first down. And you know, in snow games, it's always a little bit harder to run routes and kind of like do crisp turns. And so a lot of the times they rely on the running game, and Hebert with a good job being patient there, waiting for the running lane to kind of develop. On 2nd and 3 now, we're in shotgun again. It looks like they don't have too many players over the line of scrimmage, and we're going to do a fake jet sweep, and Lionel Hebert's going to get that first down, getting up to the 46, and Posey has an injury. I'm not sure what he's doing with his hand, but we just saw him on one knee, and we're going to have to see what that injury is. Hopefully it's not serious, because again, he's also vying for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he's had a great season when he's been on the field. Running over the top, and Jameson with another great catch. And I can't lie, it is nice to have, oh, let's see, it's a pec strain. I'm going to put him back in. It is nice to have our full offensive unit back together with Cooper Kupp back on the field finally. He's been out for about 5 games with another abdominal tear. Following the blocks, Cooper Kupp setting up great. Cooper is one of the best blocking wide receivers in the game, I believe. Here, scrambling out left, and we tried to kind of get away and throw it away, but we do take the sack, and we're going to no huddle on 3rd and 15. Probably not the smartest decision. Got Colby over the top at 6'7". Can he hold on to it? He does! Between 3 defenders. And we're no huddling again, and we do have X Factor, so we've got perfect accuracy here. I'm going to see if Cooper can win his one-on-one. Throwing underneath, Cooper with the catch, down at the 5. And Cooper might have a one-on-one on the slant here. Looks like he does. Can he hold on to it? He does. And Cooper back, finally scoring his first touchdown in quite a while. And that's touchdown number 11 for him on the season. And Marco Keaton certainly has some weapons himself, having Saquon in the backfield, having Keenan Allen and George Kittle. Helps quite a bit. Saquon on the run, just runs over Eric Stokes before finally being tackled down by Kenneth Murray Jr. 1st and 10 now in a balanced single back formation with 2 tight ends. Running our base 3-4. And Saquon fumbles the football. Can we fall on it? No! Their tight end falls on it, and he gets out of bounds, and they get a great break there, picking up extra yards after the fumble. To be 1st and 10 now. I'm very surprised that Saquon fumbled, and he's immediately being replaced by Jamal Staten. On the run, and Christian Harris with a nice hit. And he gets no yards on that run. And I kind of expect the Bears almost to be running the football a little bit more because of the snowy conditions. We'll see, though. Saquon back in now. Watching underneath. Keenan Allen breaking free. Fumbling again. We pick it up with Kenneth Murray Jr. And not able to kind of do anything with it after the recovery, but a great hit by, who was that? Was that Christian Harris? Tariq with the initial tackle. Finally, the fumble forced by Christian Harris and Murray on the recovery. And it seems like it's really hard to hold on to that football right now, but we have not had an issue with it on offense for ourselves so far. A great block here and a great truck by Lionel Hebert, but it looks like he might be coming back. And it's going to be a hold. And so a great run is getting erased. Let me go ahead and just do it again. Actually, we want to make sure that Jake continues to keep his X factor. Do a little play action here. Going to throw it short to Cooper. Cooper holds on to it. He's got sticky fingers. Going to go no huddle. Probably not the smartest decision to run it immediately after no huddling. Going to run it anyways. Up the middle. Good blocks and completely faking out the linebackers there. A great run by Hebert. Gets all of that back on that last holding call. Again with 3 tight ends out on the field. And this formation has continued to work for us. Posey almost picking up the 1st down at the 9. And we have just chugged along on offense. The Bears defense has not been slowing us down at all. But unfortunately, Hebert rushes to the outside. And he had the hole up the middle, but did not take it. We're going to try to get a little creative here. See if they notice we're going to run a little shovel option. Throwing it outside to Juszczyk. And Juszczyk has to break one tackle. He does, and he picks up the 1st. A gritty play from Juszczyk, getting extra yards after contact. And that's going to be the end of the 1st quarter. And at the end of the 1st quarter, some more snow has accumulated onto the field. We're at the 8-yard line. We've got X Factor. Hebert's got some good blocks. He stiff arms one defender, and we're down at the 3-yard line now. This is a pass play right now, and I don't love it. We do have the slant for sure from Jamison if we want it. I think we're going to send Posey on a drag. Oh, Posey's on a block. We got Hebert underneath. Can Hebert get a stiff arm? No, we're going to lose yards on the play. On 3rd and goal. Again in jumbo. We got Jamison on the field. We got him on a slant. We got Juwan Johnson underneath. I don't see anything there. We try to escape the pressure, and we take the sack instead from Vita Vea. And we're going to be forced to a field goal here. On 1st and 10 from the 25. Trying to get to the edge here, and Saquon just throws the defender off him. Tariq misses the tackle. Nate Vasher's the last one to get there. Surtain gets blocked from behind by Keenan Allen, and Saquon gets into the end zone for the touchdown, taking it all the way from the 25-yard line. And that was a huge run from Saquon. Was becoming a little bit out of reach. It was 10-0 after that last score for us, and Saquon making multiple defenders miss as he finally takes it all the way into the end zone. His biggest run against us in these last 2 seasons, and it comes in a very important game for Marco Keaton and in our first snow game. All right, now we've got to try to answer. We're on the kick return with Stephen Murphy. Got some good blocks, trying to get the edge. We take it. Stephen Murphy trying to get a stiff arm. At 5'5", you're not going to get many stiff arms. On 1st and 10, running a little halfback wham, which is a play we don't run all too often. Bringing Quentin Posey over in motion. Setting the block, doing a good job, trying to be patient, but not much was happening on that play. Now 2nd and 7. A little RPO, see if it's going to be open or not. Get Cooper underneath, wide open. Does a great job of picking up the 1st down at least. You've been playing quite a bit out of jumbo with 3 tight ends on the field, showing that we're going to try to run the football, but Again, we have tight ends that are very versatile and are very good at blocking and running routes, with Jawan Johnson and Colby Parkinson as our backups. And again, another great run by Lionel Hebert there. On 2nd and 3, just going to run it again. We're getting a really good push on the edge as we get to the edge again with Hebert. And Minkah Fitzpatrick cannot get there, and Hebert takes it all the way for a touchdown. And the run game is looking really easy against this Bears defense in the snow right now. And Hebert is trying to make his way into the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Saquon getting a huge hit from Baron Browning. 2nd and 9. He kind of feeling the pressure a little bit there after escaping for that 75-yard rushing touchdown on the last drive for them. Getting hit for only a gain of 1. Baron Browning dropping on the curl, and Keaton just throwing the ball away. Had a chance to scramble there. Trey Hendrickson has an injury, holding his arm, it looks like. 3rd and 9 now, and we have not seen Keaton escape and try to scramble all that much. He did it one time in our last game. Watching underneath on George Kittle. We got a couple receivers on him, and an inaccurate ball from Marco Keaton. Trey Hendrickson looks like he has a bruised elbow. And Keaton only with 1 completion so far for about 7 yards. Kind of similar to how he started our last game before kind of really turning it on later in the game. Cordell on the punt return. Following our blocks, getting really good blocks on the edge. Cordell, this might be his best punt return of his career for us. Finally going down at the 39. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Going to try to run with Hebert again. Again, Hebert has been so clutch for us this season running the football. The blocks have been insane too in this game. Getting 3 yards on the carry. Hebert already up to 100 rushing yards in this game. We're going to run a little outside toss, see if we can get some good blocks for this as well. Eventually, getting taken down. It's going to be 3rd and 8 now. On 3rd and 8, again in a 3 tight end formation. Jawan Johnson's open, and he holds on to it as he's taken down to the 18. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line just after the 2-minute warning in the first half. And we'll see if Cooper can get open on the corner, but we get sacked instead. A little gun split close here. Going to run it. A little halfback power with Lionel Hebert. And a good block set by Ramondre. And Hebert has got a convoy with him and cuts it back inside for another rushing touchdown. A great show of his vision. Taking it into the end zone. And that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, I think. And Bears fans seem kind of stunned right now. We came in here and took a 24-7 lead at their house in the snow. Halfback screen, trying to get to the outside and forcing a fumble. And we fall on it. Saquon with his 2nd fumble of the game and Trey Hendrickson on the recovery. And this one's getting ugly early. Through no fault of Marco Keaton, our defense has just come alive in this game. A little halfback screen out here. Not forcing anything with Cordell, and Cordell down at the 22. And I see Cooper possibly getting open on this play. And it's just going to be thrown as an incompletion. We do a little RPO with Jamison here with Cordell on the slant. He's uncovered. Oh, but he fumbles. And I'm not sure if this one's coming back or not, but Vita Vea on the return. Vita Vea, I don't know how he got out there to recover that fumble. And it looks like it's just a clean fumble, and it will not be reviewed. So that really kind of hurts. I mean, after forcing Saquon to fumble it, Jamison finally has some slippery fingers and fumbles it himself. Christian Harris with a big hit on Saquon again. And Keaton has -1 passing yards in this game, and I think this defense really wants Jake Zimmer to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. We've completely shut down this Bears offense outside of that one explosive run from Saquon. The passing game has been non-existent. -1 yards is insane, and they're just going to take this to half. Actually, they're going to run one more play. Watching the short out here, trying to get some pressure, and he just tosses it away. And he will finish the half 3 for 6 for -1 yards. All right, they've got the ball to start the second half, and they got to make a little bit of amends here and some adjustments on offense because it has been rough for them. They have one explosive play, and that is it. Saquon again taking another big hit. The blocks are not lining up for him, but the passing game has been non-existent for them. They haven't really tried to pass it all that much to begin with, and they're in strong again here, not really showing that they're going to be trying to pass. And Saquon gets another big run here, picking up the first down, and they're trying to ride Saquon on offense. And, you know, in some situations it has been working, but when you're down by, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, you got to pass at some points. Keaton on the on the keeper, and Saquon recovers. Saquon actually getting positive yards on that play after the fumble. That was stunning to see. Keaton on the keeper and then just getting absolutely decked. 2nd and 8, and it's another run by Saquon. Saquon breaking one tackle. It's going to be 3rd and 3. On 3rd and 3, they are in an empty shotgun formation. We've got Josh Jones on the field, so that makes me a little bit worried. Dropping down underneath. Keaton's got time, but he just throws it away. And Posey could be wide open on this corner route. It looks like there's no one really over there. Got a one-on-one with the linebacker and a very inaccurate ball coming from Jake Zimmer. 2nd and 10 now. Another pistol formation with Posey behind the line of scrimmage. And we have Jamison motioning over, and Lionel Hibbert's going to run it up the middle and almost picks up the first, and he fights for it, and he almost got it. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Posey, again, going down with another injury, and I don't like to see that. And we don't know what happened to Posey here, but on 3rd and inches, doing a little play action. Probably a little stupid to do this, considering how much success we've had running the football. But Antoine Andrews is open downfield, and he holds on to it. Down to the 42 now. In the same formation in pistol again. Quentin Posey is not checked back into the game. Hopefully he's not seriously injured. Running a counter out of this play. And Heber trying to fight for some yards. Gets just one. And Quentin Posey has a dislocated hip. Oh, no. Posey is going to be gone for some time. I know dislocated hip. That sounds like a 10-week injury. Maybe a season ender. That's not good. Juwan Johnson is certainly a great backup tight end. Posey and Jake Zimmer just have a unique connection. Running underneath, there's a flag. I can't believe he continues to be able to make those passes out of sacks. Holding on to offense is going to bring us back and to make it 2nd and 19. Going to let Stephen Murphy come in here for a run on 2nd and 19. Getting the edge again and taking it down to the 46, making it 3rd and 14. Nice run by Murphy. Going to let Ramondre run it here on 3rd and 14, trying to get to the edge. Ramondre not really able to make much happen. Picking up 1 yard, and we're going to end up punting this ball away. We're going to try to adjust kind of what we do on offense. Oh, this is a 62-yard field goal in the snow. And let's see if we can make it. And perfect accuracy, and this could be good. And no, it's not good. We had perfect accuracy, max power, but it just didn't have the leg. Yeah, 62-yarder in the snow seems like a bit of a reach. I'm not sure why that was what was suggested. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 48. Probably should have just punted it away there. But, yeah, I'm going to have to adjust what we're doing on offense a little bit to kind of account for Posey being out for significant time. The tight end position is pretty important in our offense. I'm going to have to rely a little bit more on Jamison and Cooper than usual. Baron Browning trying to get to the edge. Saquon, though, making a couple players miss. Finally getting taken down at the 32. Dropping back into coverage here. Spreading everyone out along the D-line. Looks like it could be a pass potentially, but it's a fake jet sweep with Keenan Allen. And Keenan Allen gets taken down at the 28. 2nd and 6 now. Yeah, I probably want to get Josh Jones or Hopkins out of the back at safety here. Saquon on the run and picks up the first on 2nd and 6, continuing to get yards after contact. And 1st and 10 now. Now we have Isaiah Simmons playing back at safety a little bit more, a little bit less at nickel. Saquon, another good run. Trying to tackle him down is Surtain, getting him down to the 9. And Saquon is now averaging 14 yards per carry. Doing a kind of a bad job of wrapping up and tackling him. It's a little bit harder with the snow, I guess. Christian Harris misses the tackle, and he finally goes down at the 4. 2nd and goal now. They're just continuing to rely on Saquon to run the football, and he has certainly proven that he can do it. Over the middle on the slant, and it's a touchdown for Jarvis Landry and Marco Keaton, and that brings them back into the game. It's only a 2-possession game now. We're going to be up by 10 points after this PAT. 1st and 10, and we're going to go ahead and bring Jameson Williams on a fake jet sweep motion here. Maybe a run for Lionel Hibbert again. Kind of trying to run an inside zone, and he gets absolutely crushed by Devondre Campbell. We got Cordarrelle in the backfield, running a little motion with Cordarrelle, getting him outside, trying to create some space for Juwan Johnson on this route. And getting some pressure, throwing it underneath the Cooper. Cooper almost getting the first. It's going to be 3rd and 1. And Zimmer is in X Factor. And we got an RPO set up with Juwan Johnson and Cordarrelle. And Cordarrelle's going to take it and almost picks up the first. It's going to be 4th and inches. I was kind of waiting to see if Juwan Johnson would get open on that route, but he really took a long time. It's a slow developing route for an RPO. We're going to punt it away here. Kobe Durant on the coverage, and it's going to fall down at the 25. 1st and 10, running a man blitz out of base 3-4, and we get pressure, and Surtain almost comes up with an interception. Marco Keaton now 6 for 11 for only 12 yards, but 1 touchdown. They have hardly thrown the football. 12 yards passing is absurd to be in this game. Saquon completely carrying them. Saquon throws Pat Hopkins to the ground. 3rd and 7 now. 3rd and 7. We're running a little cover 4. Might be a little bit risky. Watching over the middle. Keaton faces pressure and gets sacked by Max Crosby for his first sack of the game. And they're going to have to punt this one away. Oh, they're going for it on 4th and 20. Okay. That's a little surprising. They're in empty again. We're bringing 3 only. Giving them a lot of time to pass. And, oh, Kenneth Murray Jr. can't get there. Trying to get the hit is Isaiah Simmons, but N'Keal Harry does not fumble. And that was their biggest pass of the game up to that point with about 12 yards passing, throwing that one for about 40. Kenneth Murray Jr. dropping back. We got a crosser over on the right side, and Keaton just throws it away. No huddling into 4th and 20 is pretty insane, but it ended up working out for them. Now 2nd and 10. In empty shotgun again, and dropping back into coverage. Watching everything over the middle, and Keenan Allen catches it, but it's going to be out of bounds. Keaton has had some issues with accuracy in this game, probably because of the snow. Not wearing any gloves, and he's not wearing any sleeves either, trying to just show that he is, feeling great with this weather. Throwing up a one-on-one to Surtain, and Surtain picks it off over N'Keal Harry. A huge play. Harry has had some plays in the past where he's come up and mossed us, but Surtain getting a huge pick in the back of the end zone. And Jake still with X Factor. We're going to go ahead and run a counter here with Hebert, though. The run game has continued to be super successful for us. And there, though, it was not. Running a little RPO bubble screen or orbit screen here. See if it's going to be open. Looks like it will be. Antoine Andrews underneath with Jamison as the blocker. And Antoine picking up yards and stepping out of bounds, but after the first down. 1st and 10 here. Going to run another RPO. It's been pretty successful against this defense. Hebert on the carry. Picks up some yards. Again, going to send someone in motion. Antoine Andrews here. Cooper's got a one-on-one. And we got time to throw it to him. And he gets the pass cleanly to Cooper down at the 28-yard line. Again, Cooper has been a great threat all over the field. We've been really making sure to get him involved as much as possible. Cooper picking it up out of the backfield this time as a running back. Audibling out, letting Lionel Hebert run it here. Getting close to the point. Hebert with a nice carry, almost picking up the first. Going to be down to the 2-minute warning now. 3rd and 1. We got Cordarrelle on a read option, and they bite on it. And Jake Zimmer stiff arms the defender to pick up the first, and they use their first timeout. Looks like it might be man here. Got Cooper Kupp underneath. Can he get to the edge? No. Picks up yards, though. They're going to use a timeout. I'm going to run another read option here. See if they collapse on the inside to Hebert. He's had so much success running the football. And, oh, we should not have kept it there with Zimmer. And Jimmer on the carry. I'm going to start calling him Jimmer. After I realize, yeah, Jake Zimmer. 3rd and 8. No longer has X Factor. They have no timeouts remaining, though. Let me go ahead and run it here. Oh, and we're taking a flag for a false start. I wasn't sure if that had been the 3rd play call or not, but yeah, you can't do more than 3. It's always going to be a false start. I'm going to run the read option here. And they bite on it again, following the blocks. And, oh my god, I don't know how Jake Zimmer didn't fumble on the Jurtle there, getting hit mid-air. 1st and goal now. I'm going to go ahead and give it off to Hebert. Hebert getting down at the 4, and this game is basically over. Let's just go ahead and try to get Hebert in the end zone for 3 rushing touchdowns. And, we did a horrible job of getting through the hole. Either way, 3rd and goal now. This game is basically salted away. Going to have Cooper come over on the jet sweep. Throwing it underneath to him. Can he make one defender miss? Down at the 2. 4th and goal. Basically running out of time. We're going to go ahead and go for it here. It doesn't really matter. We're going to pin them at the 2 if we don't get it. Going to let the time just bleed all the way down. And let's snap it. Oh, getting dropped right at the 3-yard line. The blocks will just not hold up, but that's going to be the end of the game. See what they do on the very last play. We're in base coverage. Keaton is in the shotgun with Saquon in the backfield. They're probably just going to run it. Nope, they're going to pass. Run a little Hail Mary. Tossing it up, and Hopkins is there for the pick, potentially. It's just going to be incomplete. And I will say, we were prepared for this game. 20 for 22, only 2 incompletions for a 90% completion percentage. Jake Zimmer absolutely outdueled Marco Keaton in this game. Setting up Jake Zimmer for success with a lot of RPOs and short pass plays, not forcing him to throw it downfield all too much. Marco Keaton, only 59 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Rushing, though, it was a battle between Lionel Hebert and Saquon. Hebert with a lot more carries, both of them with 140 or more rushing yards. Hebert finished with 2 TDs, Saquon finished with 1, and then he also had 2 fumbles, but he had significantly more broken tackles. Receiving-wise, Cooper had a great game, one of his biggest games of the season after coming back from injury with that abdominal tear for 5 weeks. Cooper Kupp, 100 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Jameson, 4 catches for 40 yards. Antoine Andrews, 2 catches for 45 yards, getting involved. And then the big blow, though, Quentin Posey, 1 catch for 9 yards, and he is out for I'm not sure how long. We're going to have to see after the game. Defensively, leading the way in tackles was Baron Browning. We had a lot of plays made on defense. Max Crosby with a sack, Patrick Surtain with an interception, and 2 fumbles forced by Baron Browning, 1 fumble forced by Josh Jones and Christian Harris, and that was it. After the game, we got some upgrades to different players. Pat Hopkins playing a lot for us now. Gets an upgrade. We're just going to upgrade his zone. He's really raw, again, at pretty much everything, and we just need to boost his overall as much as possible. Jacoby Durant getting an upgrade. We're going to boost his man coverage. Again, he is playing a little bit because of some injuries at times, but he is kind of like lower in the rotation. Derek Young getting an upgrade despite barely playing. Now getting him to a 70 overall. That's pretty nice to see. We've got a lot of depth at wide receiver at this point. Yeah, +4 to Juke on that, which is pretty nice. And Nicolas Petit-Frere getting an upgrade to a 74 overall. And he gets boost to pass block, run block, lead block, and finesse. Jackson Carman also, we're going to auto-upgrade him to a 71 overall. We finished the game, and let's look at the injury. How serious is it? Quentin Posey's going to be out for 4 more weeks with a dislocated hip. Luckily, it wasn't out for 10 weeks like I thought it might be. Ryan Neal is going to be coming back next week along with Zion McCollum, which is nice. But yeah, Posey, our number 1 tight end, crucial to this team. Let's look at his stats right now. He has played, I think, 12 games this season, and 2 of the games, he only had 1 catch before getting injured. So really, he's played 10 games, and in 10 games, he's averaging, about 70-ish receiving yards per game and almost 1 touchdown per game as well. He's been pretty important for us as a blocker and as a receiver. So we're going to miss him quite a bit. Now, one thing we need to look at after that game, we've moved on to the next week, is whether or not Marco Keaton is still in front of Jake Zimmer, and he's still ahead of Jake Zimmer. I don't know how, but Jake Zimmer thoroughly outplayed him in that game and still is behind Marco Keaton. So, yeah, I just don't get it. Okay, so we got some upgrades, and we got a game against the Packers for our next video before going into the playoffs. Now we have a 12-4 record, pretty similar to how we finished last season before losing in the Super Bowl. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, any of those of you who stuck through the whole video. And I look forward to playing our game against the Packers in the next video, and then moving into the playoffs, and then eventually getting to the draft again. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.